Hi folks, so the question we're going to be doing today guys is a development question here based on the post box. It's in the World of Graphics textbook page 258. So it says here, draw an elevation in the direction of arrow A. So we'll see obviously here this surface here at the front of it, and obviously there's this opening here obviously where the letters go in. An end elevation projected from the elevation in the direction of arrow B. So we'll see this side face here, and then we'll see a bit of this kind of slope surface up here, and then the surface development of the post box. So just looking at that guys, arrow A is pointing to the left, so we'll keep our elevation on the left and then put our end elevation on the right of it. Overall dimension 68 here, and in length and overall height 48 plus 12, overall height is 60. So we'll start with that there now guys, and we will draw the elevation and the end elevation. Okay. So just zoom out there. So as you can see, I've set up an A3 page here, and I'm going to keep my view or my XY line about halfway down the page. I think that should be okay, and I'll set my XY line up there. So elevation and end elevation. So I know the length is 68. Let's just put that there. So it's 68. Marking that off. Half of 68 would actually be 34. I know I'm going to probably need that for the top of it as well. So small enough view, and the overall height of it I think is 60 millimeters. So I'll just project up. I'm using a red pen for my construction lines. I have two heights, overall 60, and I think the other height was 48. Mark that there as well. So for the 48, that's just here and here, and that then will connect up to the top. Yep, just there like that. So I'll extend that up just there, just so I have it. That's almost the elevation complete, bar the box. So I'll actually just heavy that much of it in now. So nice and easy. And now obviously we have the opening, and the opening says it's down 12 and it's 48 long. Okay, so it's down 8, I should say, not down 12. It's down 8 millimeters and down another 12 then. So marking down 12 there as well. So as you can see there, my opening for the letterbox is going to fit inside between those two lines, and it's 48 long, so using the center line, half of 48, 24 either side of the center line. So I can mark from 24, put 24 on the line, mark back to 0, and then mark out to 48. And that should get me the box, or sorry, I should say the opening. So there's the opening. And from that, what we now need to do is construct an end elevation. Okay, so that's why I shouldn't have put the Y there. So just very quickly, sorry about that. Just going to, there we go. Let's get rid of this. Okay, and the width of it is 30 millimeters. So I'm going to put my Y here. Apologies for that. So keep a distance between your view, okay, of about 10. I'm going to mark over another 30 after that. So there we have it. And I know that is the gap and the width of it. But now what I can do is I can transfer over this height and the overall height, and heavy that in. And there is our elevation drawn and our end elevation. Now it didn't ask us for it, but I will put it in. It didn't ask us, but if I was to do a plan view, we know the plan view is always underneath the elevation. So from the corner of my elevation closest to the side where my end elevation is, I would project a line at 45 degrees. And now what I'm going to do is project down my width, which is 30, to hit the 45 degree line here and here, and project them across. Didn't ask us. It was just a good bit of practice with orthographic. And now, as we projected the width across, okay, which we transferred from here across to here, now I'm going to project down my lengths. And as we look down top of it, we will just see a rectangle with a line in the middle. So once again, just heavy in that detail in. For the sake of another minute possibly, and we got the other view done. Okay, didn't ask us for this view, but I do think it was helpful just being able to good practice. So elevation, end elevation done. Now let's work out the number of sides that we have. Okay, so do we have a front, do we have a back? Yes. So I would always make note of these if I can at times, just in case it stops me getting confused. So I have 2 by front and back. Okay, so I've got a front and a back. Have I got 2 sides? Yes. 2 by sides. Okay, so I have 2 sides, which is this shape here. Have I got a base? Yes, I've got 1 base. Okay, so 1 base, and then so that's the 2 sides done, that's the base done, the front and the back done, and obviously the back will not have this opening, the front is the only one with the opening, but then I also have the roof as well, so 2 by roof, because the roof is obviously not a flat surface, it's made up of a triangular surface, okay, or a triangular structure that's made up of 2 rectangles. So there we actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've actually got 7 surfaces here to complete our development. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to start off and I'm going to basically draw my front elevation again, okay, but I'm going to draw it as the back, and I'll put the front down here at the bottom, okay. It's going to go down here. So I'm going to do the back surface first. So transferring over my heights, because I've already got them, I might as well use them, okay, rather than just starting it randomly. And I know the overall length. I'm going to pick a point right, just thinking, yeah, about there. I'm going to pick a point right there. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use my compass this time, and I'm going to take this length here, which is 68, and I'm going to mark it from that point. Okay, because it's a true length, I can just take it like that. I could have just measured it as well, and from there to there, that'll come up to here. And I also know then half of 68 is 34, so I mark the 34 here and find that at the top. And I know I'm actually going to need it down here as well, so I'll project it down and might as well have it there ready, and connect this up here. So there's my back surface done. So back surface is done. Now I'm going to do a side here and a side here. So the sides are 30, so I'll just take this distance there and I will mark it out. Just hit it with my comb. There we go. Mark it out either side. So from here, 30 millimeters there and 30 millimeters there. And once again, project these up. And they only go up as far as this height here. Okay. So technically, I start taking these off. I've done the back and I've done the 2 sides, so I'll take them off. Now I'm actually going to connect on the base, okay, and the base is going to go down here, and we can see the base is actually going to have this shape over here. That's actually why I decided to draw in my plan view as well, okay, but we could have obviously just realized that it's 68 long and 30 wide. So for the base, what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend it down, because the base has to match up with the back. So I'll extend this down, and extend this down, and using my compass, which is already set at 30 millimeters, I know that they would match up, so I'm just going to put in an arc there, and that will help me draw on the base. Could have just marked the point, just showing you that they should match up, okay, and an arc will show you where they would kind of fold together. So technically that there has folded down, so I'll just put in a little arrow there. So now we've actually done our base, so I'll take that off. Okay, and the next one I'm actually going to put on is the front, okay, and the front is going to connect on here, okay. I could also put the front there, so I could, but essentially I could actually do it here, only it's like it's been flipped over, okay. So the front could actually, as I said, go on here, and that's probably the easier way, but I'm just showing you that there is other ways that we can do it. So I know it's 60 down. Probably gone the harder way about doing this. And I know the distance then is 12. So I've gone the harder way about doing this. But it's just showing you that there is many ways we can obviously develop out the surface. And because the front was here, I have to have my opening down here as well. And I know the distance here was down 8, so I'm going to now for here, because it's upside down, I'm going to measure up 8. So it went up 8 and then it went to 12, which is at the 20. So there's going to be our opening in between that space there. And I know then it was 24 either side of the opening, or of the center line I should say. So 24 back this way and out to 48 here. Or just 24 again, whatever way you want to do it. So I put in that opening. I know that opening, actually I can put that in heavy. So there's the opening there. So now we have done also the front. So the last little portion we actually have left here is the 2 bits of the roof, okay? And we do not have a true shape of that surface. Technically we had the true shape of the base here. We had the true shape of the front, okay? And we also had the true shape of the side. The problem is we do not have the true shape of the slope surface on the roof here. So we can see that's the part of the roof there, and we can see this is here. Now this might appear as it's a true shape, but it's not, because as we look straight down on top of it, we can see that it's angled, okay? The only way we would see a true shape is if it was flat. So this also is not the true shape. Even though we don't have the true shape, we do have a true length. And the distance from the top point here to this point here, that is actually a true length, usually shown by TL. Okay, so that can actually help us now in a minute when we're actually putting it on. But before I do that, and before I add them on, there's a couple of places I could actually add them onto. Okay, so I'm actually going to just heavy in a bit of detail here now before I get that started. And I put on the last 2, and I'll explain where I'm putting them then. So I'm just going to heavy in this little bit of detail here. There will be a fold line here, because that's where the bottom, or I should say the base, is attached onto the front. And this is where the base is attached onto the back. Okay, and heavy in this bit here, and then this bit, and just tidying it up a little bit is all. I'm heavy in this, and then I will also heavy in this. And this, and I'm going to put in this as a dotted line, a hatched line, and then this as a hatched line as well. Okay, so as we can see there, guys, now side to side, back, base and front. So what we're missing is the 2 bits of the roof here. So we have a true length there. Now there is a couple of ways you could do this, okay? You could technically attach on, because it's obviously attached onto the roof, I could attach it on out here like that, and it would be coming out perpendicular to this line, okay? Out like that, in that direction there, perpendicular to the line. And it would just come out a distance of 30 millimeters, and I'd have another one here. And obviously they would fold back over. Another way I could actually do it is, I could simply just attach it on to the sides here as well, okay? And I could extend on that true length there, take that distance on my compass and mark it up here, and I could also mark it up here like that. And the reason for that is because this is a fold line, and when that all folds back together and it would come up like a hinge of a door, it would fold up flat, then I would have that extra bit that then would fold down. Okay, so that's another way you could do it. And then the other way we could also do it is like up here where we go out perpendicular. Okay, I could also come down here and come out perpendicular at the bottom part, but while I'm doing it I'll probably do it up here. So for the sake of it, I'm actually going to do 2 methods, okay, and just to show you that both would work. So the first one I'm going to do is I'm going to do possibly the easier version. I'm going to extend this on. Just takes a little bit of understanding and visualization. So I'm going to extend that on there on this side, and I'm going to put in my fold line, just so you know there's going to be a fold line here. And what I'm actually going to do, just before I do that, I'm going to take this true length distance. Okay, didn't know what that was because it wasn't marked on our sheet, okay, on our measurement sheet on the page. So I'll take that distance, and now from here, I'm going to mark that up there. And that distance there now has given me one part of my roof. Okay, so I've got one part of the roof done there. So the idea with that, I'll just heavy this in, that's the part of the roof that would fold onto this portion here. Okay. So that bit there, obviously as this was to fold back up, like a door opening, it was going to fold back up. That bit that's extended on there, okay, that bit folds back up. That bit that's extended on there would then fold down, okay. And the other way, as I said, obviously we could have just attached this on here at this side. The other way, okay, that I could have done it is I could have gone perpendicular to this line here. So to do that, what I would do is I would set up my 45-degree set square on it, okay, on that edge there of the roof, and usually with the 30-60 I line it up with it there, and then I simply rotate it around. And what I've created there, okay, simply by just lining it up on it and then rotating the set square, I've created a perpendicular angle, okay. So that angle there is now perpendicular. And I will extend out that and that. And obviously we already have the true length because that length there is the same as this length. So really the distance I need is just here, okay, which is 30 millimeters. So taking that, I'll mark out that as a 30. I will go up here to do it. So just have to extend out my lines just a touch further there. So that I've got that and that. And then there we have it, and once again just heavy that detail in. Now I've gone a funny way about obviously developing out the problem, but what I have done is not incorrect, it's perfectly correct. There's obviously just easier ways that I could have gone doing it, okay, but I'm just showing you that there was many different ways that you could have developed out this surface, okay. And as obviously you can see then, this was a heavy line whereas this is a fold line because it was attached on here. Now to make this probably a little bit more appealing to the eye, I'll just move it down there a little bit. To make this a little bit more appealing to the eye, obviously it would have made sense if I had done it this way on this side, it would have made sense to attach this bit onto here as well. Chances are, if I was to, just to show you that it would all match up, that distance there matches up with that distance, okay, so we can see then that they would fold and meet each other. Okay, but as I said, and it would be the same actually, might as well just show you here, this distance here would match up and meet that one there, as we can see. So that would fold in together as well. Just showing you that they all match up. Probably the neatest way, as I said, would have been, because I did this one on this side, would have been to attach it on there, and then making my life even a bit easier again was attaching the front surface on over here as well. So it would have essentially been side, back, side, front. Attach the base on here and then maybe attach on this bit and this bit, okay. Different ways you can do it, guys, but I hope you found that helpful. That is the question complete there. Okay.